UFC Freedom 250 has just come out today. I'll be matchmaking all the fighters. And yeah, we're going straight in with Diego Lopes and Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia got knocked out. Had a good first round. Was keep jabbing the thing, jabbing Lopes. Landing big shots, making Lopes hesitate. And then in the second round, start brawling with Lopes. I think that's a crucial mistake when going against Diego Lopes. And yeah, he got caught, knocked out. The left hook, and then he got knocked out on the right hook. And yeah, he got finished by Diego Lopes in front of his home country. Kind of bad way to start off the card. And for Steve Garcia, I think he should fight Kevin Vallejos. I mean, this fight isn't bonkers, it's amazing. Vallejos needs someone in the top 10, He's elevated himself after being Josh Emmett, knocking out Josh Emmett in the first round. And yeah, it's incredible. It'll be an incredible fight. I'd lean to more Vallejos than Garcia, just based on the recent fights. I think Vallejos is one of the best future prospects, if not the best future prospect in the world. And yeah, this fight will be amazing. America versus Argentina. You can put it on maybe a fight night card. Maybe make it as a main card. Maybe a fight night main event. Maybe in October, November. Maybe in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, it's really good. So Steve Garcia versus Kevin Vallejos make this fight. And then for Diego Lopes, for me, Diego Lopes should fight Yair Rodriguez. I mean, not only does this make sense in the rankings as Diego Lopes needs another win, this fight needs to happen. They have, of course, they had that beef, the press conference at 2025 in Miami. They kept going back and forth talking about each other's teams and cornermen. Yeah, I think this is a really good fight for Lopes. Style wise, it's really good. I think if they fought, I think Diego Lopes would batter him over 3 rounds or even 5 rounds. And yeah, you can put this on the. If they're ready to come back, put it on the September card. And UFC the UFC loves to go to Mexico for the Independence Day, and I think this would be a great fight to main event the card. And maybe put us hold on the card under it with your prospecting contenders. It can be a very great card for the Independence Day of Mexico. So yeah, Diego Lopes with not Steve Garcia, Yair Rodriguez, and then Bobby Nickal gets a knockout win in his house lawn, in his home country against Daukaus. And for Nickal, I think his fight Israel Adesanya. I mean, yeah, this fight makes sense in the rankings. Nickal is I think like what 10, Adesanya's like 9 and 8. Yeah, this makes sense. Adesanya's on a 4-fight losing streak. He's gonna have to fight somebody in like top 15 and top 10, and Nickal's on a 2-fight winning streak. After his loss to RDR, he's really improved a lot. Yeah, I think this is a really great fight. I think Nickel could use his wrestling, his grappling, of course, even making some of his striking, as you've seen improved in his last few fights. So yeah, I think this is a really great fight. Put on like maybe next year. I don't know if Adesanya will fight this year. You can put on next year, like February and March on a fight night. I think they do bunk. I think they do numbers. So yeah, Nickel versus Adesanya. And then for Kyle Daukaus gets TKO'd by Nickel. Yeah, for Daukaus he should fight Vicente Luque. Yeah, this fight doesn't make sense right now. They're both coming off losses. This fight was supposed to happen in April, but it got cancelled. And yeah, I think it'll be a more closer fight than everyone thinks it to be. I think Nickal, I don't know, sorry, I think Daukaus would win, but I think it'd be a close fight for Luque. They're both in similar career position. They've had a bunch of fights, and yeah, you can put this on a fight night. Maybe on the prelims of a big card, like a pay-per-view card. But yeah, Kyle Daukaus versus Vicente Luque make it happen. And then for Mauricio Ruffy, Styles and Michael Chandler. And for next, I think he should fight Mateusz Gamrot. Yeah, I think this fight is really interesting. I think I would favour Mauricio Ruffy, But again, these guys have been on a tear. Gamrot coming off that win over Esteban Ribovic and Mauricio Huffy. Just is on the 2-fight winning streak. Just knocked out Fizzy and Chandler. He deserves to be in the top 5, top 8. And I think Tadej Gamrot is a perfect guy to beat that person to fight Mauricio Huffy. And I think it's a closer fight. I think Mauricio Huffy would still win. But Gamrot got missing some of his takedowns. No, he won against Arman Sarukian, which was pretty controversial, don't get me wrong, but he still won against the guy Arman Sarukian, who's the number 1 contender in the lightweight division. So yeah, I think this is going to be a close fight, but I think Mauricio Huffy would be too fast and too sharp. I think he's entering into his prime, if not already in his prime, for Mauricio Huffy. So yeah, Mauricio Huffy versus Mateusz Gamrot, make it happen. And maybe in Brazil, in October, November, I'd love to see that happen. And then for Michael Chandler, it's time to hang up the gloves. Honestly, I just don't know who he should fight next. He's unranked. If he was to fight somebody, it would be a unknown guy. And he's done everything. He has 8 fights in the UFC, lost six of them. Only 2 wins out to Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson, who was really bad. And yeah, there's no use for him. He's never going to get the Conor McGregor matchup now. As he's booked to fight against Max Holloway. And yeah, just knows being in the UFC right now. He's not gonna get a fight soon. He just got knocked out. If he's probably gonna fight, he's probably gonna fight in December. And I hope he's time to retire. He's 40. And yeah, it's time for him to go. He had a good career in Bellator, but it just didn't work on the UFC. And another guy who was 40, and I think he should try is Derek Lewis. I think he should retire as well. He's just not as good as he was. In his last 2 fights he's quit. Kind of quit. He just sat on his back like a fat slob. And yeah, the only fights he wins is a big 1-punch knockout, and other than that, he gets nothing. Yeah, there's no use for Derek Lewis. He's just been knocked out by the number 5th guy, knocked out by Waldo Cortez Acosta. If he's gonna fight somebody, it's probably gonna be the top 15. Like, and it's just, who is he really gonna fight? I don't think he's gonna fight anymore. Now he's had a good career, he's had up and down here, he's had title shots. But I think it's time to hang up the gloves, bro. So yeah, Derek Lewis, he should retire as well. And then for Ayman Zahabi, for Ayman Zahabi, I think he should fight Ronnie Barcelos. Yeah, this fight is pretty interesting. I think Barcelos deserves a chance to fight somebody as ranked high like Ayman Zahabi. He's on a 5-fight winning streak. He beat Peyton Talbot. And yeah, for Ayman Zahabi, he should fight somebody down. And yeah, Ayman Zahabi, before he was on a 7-fight winning streak, before his fight with O'Malley. Sorry. And Ronnie Barcelos is really good. He's 38 years old and he's performing guys like he's in his prime, like he's young again. Yeah, I think Ayman Zahabi will still win this fight just because he's just a lot more technical on the feet. But we never see with Ronnie Barcelos, they're the same age. I don't know, I could see this maybe next year. I don't think Ayman Zahabi is gonna fight this year. I think they should make the fight in like Canada or something, the UFC does go in Canada once in a while. I think we should make this fight maybe for a co-main or main event. Yeah, it's a really good fight. So Ayman Zahabi should fight Ronnie Barcelos. And then for the sugar, Sean O'Malley. That's the winner of it, Ayman Zahabi. And for Sean O'Malley, his next fight should be the title shot against PTN. Yeah, of course the first fight was pretty controversial. I thought Jan would want that fight, but outside from that, that was one of the best bantam fights of all time. You know, people still complain over that until this day. And yeah, Sean O'Malley deserves it now. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. Just beat Song Yadong and there was Song Yadong and Sean and Ayman Zahabi. And yeah, he's really good. I think in a rematch with PTN, it'd be very entertaining like the first fight. I don't know, maybe he can use some of his wrestling, but I think PTN will still win. But I think PTN needs to fight Marab first, and then he can fight Sean O'Malley. Or Sean O'Malley can take a number 1 contender spot like Umar Nurmagomedov. But anyway, I think he should be for next for Sean O'Malley. against PTN. PTN wins that fight as well. He wants that box office record. And yeah, I think this will be a much closer fight, but I still favour PTN to win. So get Sean O'Malley versus PTN, make that fight the rematch part two, and then for for Cyril Gane, wins the interim belt, knocks out Alex Pereira in a very controversial way. There's back of the head shot him a lot, and for Cyril Gane, it's the fight with Tom Aspinall, the rematch. Um, you have to make this fight. Gane's the interim champion. Aspinall's the undisputed. This story is crazy. This timeline, and I think it'll be a much closer fight than the first fight. Everyone thought in the first fight that Aspinall's gonna summon him in the first round, knock him out, take him down, summon him, whatever. But of course, we saw before the eye poke, Gane was piecing him up. Yeah, I know the strike numbers were pretty evenly even. I think they were like 2 strikes to Gane more, but Gane was piecing him up, bleeding Aspinall up, and I think the 3 matches next. We have Evil Tom now. I think that press conference will be pretty crazy. Aspinall's gonna have some stuff to say at Gane. Maybe Gane will say some stuff at Aspinall for him quitting. But yeah, Aspinall Gane too. Make that rematch. I don't think they're gonna put it in Paris in September, especially because there's a fight night. I don't think they want a heavyweight championship on the fight night. I think they could do it like November in the MSG in the biggest arena of all time. Make that fight. It'll bring loads of eyes and views to the UFC and then in that November card. So yeah, Cyril Gane and Tom Aspinall. And then for Alex Pereira, got taken by Cyril Gane. Is kind of salty about the stoppage, even though I think it was a great stoppage. And for Alex Pereira, I think he'll just stay at heavyweight. And it's against Josh Hockett. Yeah, this fight needs to be next. I think Alex Pereira, he weighs 251 pounds. I don't think he's going to go back to another heavyweight. And the great fight in the heavyweight division will be Josh Hockett. We've seen that press conference where Josh Hockett was saying stuff about Alex Pereira's mum and trashing him, saying he's going to give him golden shower. And Alex Pereira lost. But I think this is the best fight, and I think even Josh Hockett deserves it. He's on like a 2 fight winning streak. He's undefeated. In the UFC, he's 2 fight winning streak in the UFC. He's undefeated. 9-0. And yeah, he just knocked out Derek Lewis. I just finished Curtis Blades, who had one of the biggest fights. And I think this is a really good fight. And I think this would be an amazing fight at the press conference. Maybe Periera can have some English and say some stuff back to Hockett. But yeah, I think this is an amazing fight. And I think you should make this soon. I know Alex just got knocked out, but you need to keep Josh Hockett more active because his press conferences are very funny. Yeah, I think we should make this fight in like November, when Alex is ready to go. Because I think Josh Hockett's ready to go. He barely took any damage against Derek Lewis. So yeah, I think we should make this fight really a bad matchup. And then for Justin Gaethje, now if he doesn't retire, now for Justin Gaethje, I think his next fight should be no one. I think he should retire Justin Gaethje. But if he doesn't retire, it's Arman Tsarukyan. And yeah, Arman Tsarukyan is the #1 contender. For a reason. He's on like a 7-5 win streak or 4 I don't know. He's beat the names of Charles Oliveira, Dan Hooker, Hakeem Silva, Demir Ismagulov. Loads of good contenders. And Arman deserves it. He's the #1 contender for a reason. He's like a superstar now, as he's doing with his wrestling and his streaming with Neon and drama. And Gaethje has to fight. If he doesn't fight, he doesn't retire, then that's fine. But if he's gonna fight somebody for the title, it's gonna be Arman Tsarukyan. I see people saying, and I know you Bronx fan, Charles Oliveira fan, are saying, but Oliveira should get the title shot. He beat Gaethje, but like Arman beat Oliveira, and Oliveira hasn't really. He beat Max Holloway, and of course he beat Max Holloway before. It was Gamma, and he did get knocked out by Ilya, who Gaethje finished. So yeah, I think you give Arman a title shot. Maybe Oliveira can fight somebody like the winner of my next thing, But I think Arman deserves it more. say if Ilya won this, then I would have made it Ilya, then Ilya and maybe like not Holloway. Ilya, I don't know. Before Gaethje, he should fight almost Sarukian. This is the next fight. The lightweight division for the champion. I don't think Gaethje's gonna fight. Maybe not this year. Maybe in December you put on the team of Las Vegas or on the November card in the MSG. Yeah, I think this is really good. Gaethje Sarukian, make this fight happen. And then for Ilya Topuria, gets TKO'd, loses undefeated record. These loses all his aura. He needs to change his bio. It's still 18-0. And for Ilya Topuria, now, of course, he's not gonna fight till the. I don't see him fighting till the end of the year, till maybe not at least December. And I think he just fight Paddy Pimblett. It's a perfect time to make this fight. Both coming off the losses to Gaethje, and I think if it's a perfect time to make this fight, it's now. When Gaethje beat Pimblett in January, people thought, oh, that's when I'm going to see this fight. Press conference would be amazing, but now we have the chance to make this fight. This fight needs to happen, and this is the perfect chance for it now. Since Ilya has lost, he needs to fight a contender, and that contender is Paddy Pimblett. Say Paddy Pimblett gets past Benoit Saint-Denis, which I think he will. You give him Ilya Topuria. Oh, it's a bad blood matchup. They can make it. Oh my God, they can make it next year, because Ilya will be recovered by then in March at UFC London. Make that a main event. Bit of press conference on there. That'd be doing numbers. That'd be crazy. And I think it's good for Ilya. He needs to easy matchup. I think Ilya would knock out Paddy, even though we just seen Ilya die against Gaethje. And yeah, I think this is really bad blood matchup. History in the making. Now, of course, they had that big press conference in 2022, and then now in 2025 and 2026, this fight needs to happen, and now it's the perfect time to make this fight. Now it's a good matchup for Ilya, good matchup for Paddy. And yeah, whoever wins this fight could get to our show next. So yeah, I'd make Ilya Topuria and Paddy Pimblett next. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next video. Peace.